Welcome back. Episode 3 of the White Monster podcast. Today, joined by the one and only Owen Jones. Welcome.
Martial arts. Thank you for having me, boys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
No, thank you. Once again, it's another clout grab. One of our friends that are much more famous than us, so...
We're just taking advantage of all these highlight reel kids, just being like, hey, you guys want to come do the pod or what, dude?
Yeah, you want to come just little Instagram reel, couple collabs? You know?
Yeah. We asked who would collab the most first, and then we work backwards, you know?
Yeah, fuck. But no, yeah, we were talking about it. I think we made it through like 5 minutes of the first episode. We were talking about you and Joe.
So
And we were like, fuck, we should have them on, so...
Yeah, the start of the pod has actually been like perfectly timed with all the boys being in town too, so it's worked out well.
this is the best time to be a B team, right?
Yeah, when the camps are on.
The camp's on, it's pretty sick. You get all the high level guys coming down. Kenta, Joseph, I'm sick. Training sick. I feel like I level up so much, specifically in these periods, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think it's like just everyone goes away, picks up so much knowledge wherever they are, and then we just bring it back, and it's just like a melting pot. Everyone picking up new stuff.
Just picking Joseph's brain.
I was going to say Joseph and you,
Great.
for me, are like the two where I'm just like, please come back soon.
Yeah, man, like the fucking... Yeah, like I've said this again, like on... It's going to get pretty like... I've repeated myself, but the Sundays have been... I basically learned a lot during the Sunday, and then I tried throughout the week. I troubleshoot with like you and Joe, and like try it again. So
Getting pumped.
fuck it, run, dude.
That's why I sit behind the desk on Sunday. I just watch. I'm like, I don't need this.
Bro. We were Shark Tanking Joseph, just getting nothing going. So sad.
It's fucked. And then it's even more humbling when it's like, you go with Joe, I go with Joe. And it's like the 5th time, and then Joe looks over, he's like, you ready to go? And it's like, I should be the one asking you, motherfucker. Like, you're asking me if I'm good. You haven't stopped. Fuck you, kid.
He's like, you want to double up? We can do 6 minutes instead.
Yeah, it's like, dude,
You're sitting there gassed like, bro, stop passing my guard, man. Allow it.
it's fucking crazy, dude. But no, the rooms, when everyone comes into town, this is definitely the best time to be here.
Yeah, for sure. And luckily this time it's not going to be that big of a gap, you know. Everyone starts to sort of leave at the end of this month, and then everyone will be back for the CGI camp.
Yeah, so I think everyone leaves like after who's number 1, like between April 20th and 25th, and then everyone's back July.
Yeah, so it'll be a short break. Let's talk about who's number 1.
Who's number 1?
Another chance for Owen Jones to highlight.
Mashallah, you know, but they smack up Julian Espinosa. This is going to be fun, to be fair. I just think I'm way better than him. I mean, I think he's good. It's just like, he's always losing to the top level guys, you know? Like he loses to Cole at Pans and at World, Nogi Worlds, up GF. Then loses to Ethan at the trials. And I think he lost to Keith. But it's like I think he's just the level below, right?
Just that one step.
Yeah, and I don't know, I've also gotten so much better since like the last time I've competed. I think I'm just going to be able to show that I'm better everywhere.
And we would have had this match, I think, on Polaris.
Yeah, the squad.
On the squads, but obviously you were out.
Infection was crazy.
Yeah.
The 3rd kneecap was mad. It was okay.
It looked like Big Vince's knee on your leg.
It was crazy. It's fine. Owen Flying got the job done for me on that one, though. Almost tapped you against shoulder pressure.
Yeah, it was a beautiful entry to the legs, too.
Yeah.
Insane.
That Polaris was pretty sick, actually.
The squads event, yeah.
Super sick.
Like, watching it was one of the coolest events to watch, for sure.
Yeah.
Polaris fucking kills their events. Even like just like aesthetically, like the filming and everything they do is like super. It looks super high value. It's super good, man.
And like Josh, the Grapple Club, he does a good job of getting like all the footage. I think Mikey does all the shooting, like the YouTube content and stuff like that. So I think it's pretty sick. And but the FOMO was crazy. Sitting there on the side, watching Mateus go out there and just aura max on people as well. Fuck.
I tell you what, though, next time they do any tournament challenges, can't be anything athletic. None of us are good with a ball. This is why we do this sport.
Right.
It was hard to watch the boys fuck it up that bad.
How do we almost lose the football? How? What's going on? Taylor Favours just skying it over the bar. This is crazy.
Taylor, you let us down.
Taylor, apparently, he told me he's never played football. I
No.
had no idea. I was like, oh, we're going to have Taylor going to go in there. Taylor's going to score a few. Bro, Joseph and Mateus were our best. Joseph, how is Joseph the best football player on our team? What's going on?
He probably studied the night before, dude. The guy just fucking studies.
He's just watching Messi highlights the night before.
Ronaldo and penalty shootout.
Bro, I was fucking messaging Wojcik and Kieran. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Why am I watching you guys try to fucking kick a ball? And he was like, dude, I don't know.
I've played pickleball with Kieran.
Oh,
Keep the man away from bats and balls,
dude,
you know?
fuck off. Nah, he didn't mean that, Kieran.
Not the one.
Exceptional jiu-jitsu talent.
Super good. Great hang.
When we were playing, I was like, of course I'm going to pick Kieran. He's a fucking super athlete. Look at him. As soon as he picked up the bat the first time, I was like, I fucking dropped the ball here.
I messed up the pickings, man. Apparently, Joseph gets really angry when he plays pickleball. I've never seen.
Really?
Yeah.
We didn't play with him.
Apparently, he played in Malaysia. Apparently, he's just getting fuming, man. You're just losing. You just get smoked up. And you just,
They gotta be good out there for sure.
Yeah, Lynn was telling me he's just getting rage baited all the time. He's just getting smashed. You just can't hack it.
Bro, pickleball is actually fun as fuck.
I'm mean with it.
Yeah?
Yeah. I have this guy running all over the court,
You might have to run
fucking throwing the paddle around, you know?
I can see you crashing out.
Oh, bro.
I can see Austin crash out.
Just 100%.
Kivan, this is a call out. He's been calling me out for pickleball for about a year now. Next time you're in town, let me know. I'll smoke you.
Yeah, bro. Kevon ain't got nothing, man. He's got no tech, man. Ecological this. Come on. He ain't got nothing. That's light work for the boys. I've never played pickleball. I'll smack him.
Yeah. Me and Owen.
Let's do it.
You and whatever partner you want.
Yeah. Just
Pick him.
Just slamming it. I play tennis though, so I feel like I have a little bit of edge.
I haven't played anything with a fucking racket. I played ping pong.
Yeah,
So you're fucking good at ping pong.
I am good at ping pong too, to be fair.
Bro, you know who's good at ping pong?
Dima.
Bro,
Dima is nice with it.
Dima's nice with it. Swear to God, there's little photos of that 19-year-old Dima playing fucking ping pong. He was German.
Out in the German hall.
Yeah, when he actually had hair as well. His hairline wasn't class, you know. Is that just like him with?
Just catching a stray.
He caught us straight in Costco the other day. We're walking through Costco, and I think it was me, Dima, Joe, and Katie. And I'm walking down the medicine aisle to pick something up, and I see this hair growth serum. And I walk up to Dima, and I was like, Dima, try and use this. And the lady at Costco goes, oh, yeah, that's really good. I was like, can it help him? And she goes, nah, he's got no hope. Caught strays from Costco.
Random Costco lady. You need turkey for that. That one's class. Mega mind, you know.
Oh, fuck it.
No. I feel, but no. It's gonna come back. I believe in Dima's hair.
Bro, I gotta get you in a sport where it has anything to do with catching.
Yeah,
You can't catch?
catching stuff.
Fuck, dude.
I think might be the eyesight's a problem, you know? I refuse to admit it, but...
Whatever. I threw a fucking ball. I was like, can you catch it? And he was like, all right. And I threw a ball at him. Motherfucker tried to clap. He literally just like, it looked like he was just like, and I was like, oh no. And he's like, do it again. 4 times, 0-4. Not from far away. I was like,
I let myself down. I let myself
You know
down.
yourself, lost aura there.
Oh, yeah. No one was watching, but we were good.
No one was watching.
to be fair, I mean, you guys don't, I mean, actually, no, Australian rules football. You guys are catching.
Yeah, I never played.
I was going to say, Europeans don't play like,
good.
yeah.
I didn't play rugby either, because...
I was going to say, I was going to try to make an excuse. Like, Europe, it's like, how often are you guys, fuck, never mind then. Yeah, you guys should be decent at catching.
Don't say you got. I can catch. What you was, bro? I'll catch that shit. I used to play all the sports. During school. I used to like the seasonal sports. I used to do the cricket, the football, the rugby.
You played rugby?
Yeah, I was pretty good. Yeah.
You're probably quick. Did you play like out on the side?
No, I started off in the scrum, so I started off as a flanker, number 7, and then moved to the number 9, like the scrum half.
Oh, fuck. Calling it out.
Makes the most sense.
Yeah.
I was whipping the ball. But I used to have a mean tackle right now. Low, right.
My old man used to say the same thing, because my old man's quite a bit shorter than me, too. He's like, let's say 5'9" and 3/4.
One there, bro.
And he's, yeah. And then he would say the same thing. He's played a similar position, I think, and then just like smoke low tackle.
I would, if I could have played professional rugby, I would have for sure. Just fucking curse, man. Just 5'8". I'm quick, but you know, like when you're this short, you gotta be like exceptionally fast.
Yeah.
It's like I'm just quick. Like I'm just as fast as like there's the 6'6" guy who's 240, who's like way quicker than me. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, we had We had a buddy growing up. He was like the fucking freakiest shout out to Brandon Harrison, but he was like the freakiest athlete out of our friends. He played a lot. He quit hockey to go play rugby. And when I was in grade 12, our school randomly got a rugby team. And he was like, bro, just play, fuck it. So I played, and I played 8. Playing 8-man was fun as fuck.
Yeah.
Because you're basically just like a running back. Our team was awful. There was like 4 guys who were athletes, and then the rest of them they just threw on. So there was like 4 of us that just got the ball and just ran. But it was so much fun halfway through the season. I was like, man, I wish I started this when I was 6. This is the best fucking game.
Bro, I used to enjoy it a lot. And I remember there was a point where it's like, I was like 15 maybe. This is when I kind of started doing jiu-jitsu as well. Like I was doing jiu-jitsu for like a year, but I was still mainly focused on doing rugby. Like I thought I was going to become a professional rugby player. And then I think I started to fall out of love with it. And then I realized, I think there was moments where like Reece Samet, I don't know if you know who this is, like a Welsh rugby player.
Yeah.
And there was other guys that I saw who were like now professional rugby players. And I used to watch them. And I saw how quick they were. And I was like, right, this is another level. I was watching them just blast me. And I'm just like, wow. I'm watching them play. I'm like, this is not attainable. I'm looking at the jiu-jitsu athletes. I'm like, yeah, these aren't athletes. Anyone can do this. I'm like, I'm going to go do jits, man. This is easy.
Bro, yeah. Like the kid, Brandon was super fucking good. He played Team Canada and stuff, but he was supposed to go to Australia to play. He's going to go play pro in Australia, but he didn't go because he just kept getting injured. He was 5'9", but he got up to like 190, 195 pounds. Like not like fat, like still lean, and he could run a sub
5'9" or 100. What do you say?
195. What's that in English?
88 kilos.
Close to, yeah.
And he could run like I think they clocked him at like a 4. I mean, I might be. He ran a 4.6 or something.
Fuck's pretty
Fast as fuck. Watch him, dude. When we were in high school, he was like squatting like 315 for reps, like. And he was like saying to me, he's like, bro, every time he's like, I run into guys all the fucking time. And like his shoulder just kept going. He's like, I just get injured all the fucking time. So.
Yeah, it never occurred to me to play back home.
Really?
Like, yeah, we got Islanders, dude. They look like grown men at 12 years old, you know? I'm there,
I'm doing
just skinny white
passport
kid.
checks.
I'm like, nah, it's not for me.
I would be doing passport checks, bro. How old are you, motherfucker?
This guy's got a beard and tattoos, dude.
Yeah.
He's in 8th grade.
Canada, we have none of that. You know what I mean? We're like, we can do it. We don't have to run into any fucking Samoan guys. There's no massive fucking dudes. We're freak athletes. Just a bunch of white farm kids being like, we could probably do it.
Nah, I ran into the freak athletes, but you know, it was quite infrequent. And then after like when I stopped playing for like club and stuff like this, and it was just a school, and we do like the inter club ones, and you just playing against scrubs, man. Felt so good. You just sidestepping everyone, just stiff arming them, face palms, so good. Same with jits, you know. It's when you train with someone you're so bad, and then just start magic sticking. Someone playing with Sean Layfield, I was like, just high stepping him out. Just
When you magic sticked him in front of all of us.
In slow motion.
slow motion, just stepping over his head.
Slow motion, and then the timer went off, and you had his back, and you hugged him and said sorry. I was like, don't do that. That's worse. You fucking tell him to go fuck himself after. It's worse that you were nice about it. Fuck me.
Like, Gingy the hug. I'll give you a hug.
He would have taken it if the cameras weren't on. He was just prideful.
It's prideful. Yeah, Tony's just mocking him. But, yeah, that's nigga. Yeah, you can't let that happen, man.
No.
Die on the sword. Yeah. Just get magic stick straight into the triangle.
But
He was so upset with himself, he didn't even defend the choke. He just lifted his head and just like, his face changed.
that'll happen. Fuck. But yeah, so you're gonna go back though. You're gonna go back to the UK for a bit, but you're gonna be in America because Atlanta.
Yes. So I think after who's number one, there's I don't even know if there might be another match. I don't know. Maybe not. Nothing's confirmed yet. But there might be a match between who's number one and the end of April, and then I'll go home. I'll be home for like I think a week, maybe 2 weeks. Train Mossman Detox, do this interview for the thing, and then I'll come back to Atlanta, and I'll stay in Atlanta for 3-4 months until July, and then I'll come back to Austin. But I'll probably be opening the gym that time, so not training too much, but focusing on running the gym. I guess Paul Ardilla trains out there, your son.
I don't think I can call it my son, you know, is a
The goat.
negative. The goat of the US trials.
Yeah, just what 4-time trials
I
winner?
think he won 5.
5 times trials winner, full-time job, you know, lawyer, making real money.
Handsome.
Handsome, yeah, bro. That is fair play.
You know?
He is winning.
He
is winning.
Yeah. Stays winning every day.
Oh, man. Well, we're making jiu-jitsu money. This guy's winning trials and making lawyer money. Fair play.
I remember when I started jiu-jitsu, like a couple, like, I was watching like some, like, they were doing like, they were trying to do like the same, like the UFC, like, vlogs for WNO. And they did one on Paul Ardilla, and I was like, who's this handsome fuck? And it shows him pulling up in a fucking 911 or a GT2 RS. And I was like, who the fuck's that guy? I was like, there's money in jiu-jitsu. He's like, oh, I'm a lawyer. I was like, get the fuck. I was like, there's no way he's good. He smashed the guy. They're like, oh, he's won trials 4 times. I was like, dude, get the fuck out of here.
Why? Just cheat codes, man.
Crazy. But no, that'll be sick then. I haven't spent much time in fucking Atlanta, but there are some good guys out there. I think
I've never been, but I told Owen I'll come out for sure for the opening.
But
You know,
you'll come out for the opening. That'll be pretty sick.
yeah.
I think I'm like an hour away from the 10p, and they got like Ryan Aiken. What's the head coach's name?
I forget. Wojcik knows him.
Yeah.
Applegate.
Applegate,
Yes.
sure, Applegate, yes. And then there's a few guys under him, I think. What's the Elijah Carlton, I think, that he trains out there. And then obviously Paul Ardilla, Ernesto, and Sergio. Those 3 are pretty good. I'll be probably training with them because they're going to be close to me. So I think Sergio and them, I think they live like close to where my gym's going to be opening. So
Oh, really?
yeah,
Nice.
pretty sure they'll come training. That was really sick.
Sergio was a 77 guy. Is 77 guy. So
I think it's a little down. He was kind of down when I was there, but
okay, it'd be good
yeah,
size.
it's pretty good training. They're all good
I
trainers.
mean,
none of them.
all those guys are great
Yeah,
trainers.
yeah.
Anyway.
And none of them went full crazy on me, so I appreciate that. Usually when I first go to the gym, it's just like, accept the fact that this guy's going to try and kill me and take my accolades away, you know? The 90-kilo guy's just going to try and rip a straight ankle lock on me. Is like, now I've made it. I've won trials. I'm like, well, make 66 then. Make the weight.
No, I think once you beat a guy smaller than you, you take all the accolades. You know, I'm the greatest 66er that ever lived, bro.
The time ADCC champ, Declan Moody.
Bro, the funniest part about Lachlan put out that video today that we were just talking about, that super long Instagram video, and they're talking about like who's gonna be in the thing. And they're like, oh, Declan Mooney, you know, he's beating some really good guys. Like he beat Diogo Reyes, and I was like, what else are they gonna talk about? And then they switched it. I was like, they're just gonna bring up the 166 guy that you fucking beat, not the guy who got 3rd at fucking ADCC.
Felipe Costa, yeah.
Felipe Costa,
right?
Yeah.
That was a good match. Yeah, he's number 1.
Yeah, that one's aging like fine
aging.
wine. That one,
Fine wine.
you take those ones.
Yes, that was sick. I remember watching that. That was good. This was the same card as Joseph?
Yeah, Joseph and
Joseph son Elijah Dorsey.
Elijah.
And Ethan was on that too, right?
Yes.
His son, yeah, bro. Yeah, that was a good day. Wow. Everyone caught W's.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Taylor was on there. She blast doubled that chick.
Laura in the series or something.
She's on the next. Who's number 1 too? Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Who's on
for
this
Taylor.
number 1? Nicky Rod versus Kynan.
Nicky Rod, Kynan, yourself,
V versus Julian.
and then we
Chris
got
versus
Chris on the undercard. Major disrespect
Chris.
to my boy Chris.
Yeah, put some respect on
ADCC,
Wojcik's name.
Fourth
for fuck's
place.
sake.
Amazing run, you know?
Yeah, bro.
And then,
Didn't he beat Negromonte?
yeah,
Yeah, fuck. Crazy.
Bro, PGS, he fucking killed it. He killed it at the EBI.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's just a warm-up match for him, though. He's just going to scrub stomp and then next main card. You meant to have a match.
Yeah,
Fell through.
fell through. Won't get into that just because of everything behind it. But, yeah.
And then who else is there? There's one more, no?
Colin, who's been training with us. Yeah.
Colin versus
Sebastian.
the Tart.
Yeah.
Yes. This is a good card, actually. He's going to be pretty fun.
Yeah.
I love competing, man. Fuck. So, yeah.
Everyone's excited to see you compete because it's like, it's a spectacle, you know, now.
For sure.
Everyone's hyped up.
I think Julian also doesn't stall. This is going to be good.
Yeah, it's different than the Mahia match, you know?
Yeah.
He went in there, I think, trying to play tactically.
Partially my own fault. I think I broke him mentally before, so he was so scared to get highlighted that he didn't want to, engage. But I think Julian will be fun.
This is when I first met you, because
Yeah.
Joseph had just moved out of the house that everyone stays at, and then you let me come and stay for a little bit, and you came back with the biggest grin on your face, and you're like, I've already won, brother. He's like, watch this. Pulls up the footage of the pre-fight press conference, and I was like, oh my God, it's over.
Yeah. I remember this. Yeah, I came back, and Declan's like, oh, where have you been? I was like, oh, bro, I've just won the match. I was like, have a look at this press conference, bro. Look at this. I'm cooking him. He's stumbling. I was like, but fair play. He tried to play along, though. This is the issue, man.
Yeah.
If you're from America, man, you can't hang with us. It's a different
different
game.
game.
Man. Except it's like when they try it with Craig, you're just gonna get cooked, man. You can't do it.
No, we were talking about that at dinner the other night. Like, like the fucking Canadians and Europeans all get along really well, like the Australians. There's similar like banter and shit like that. Like you actually talk shit to each other, and that's actually fun. There's some Americans that are just like,
I feel like it's too personal.
Yeah.
People get too upset about things, you know. Bro, when I was in secondary school, man, they would say anything about you, about your mom, about your family. Anything goes, man. You got crooked teeth, you're chalked, your hairline's chalked, you're chalked. Any negative thing about you, they're gonna grill you. Multiple people at once as well. And if you don't clap back, you're just a victim.
Yeah.
So you have to fight back. Whereas I feel like in America, you just complain a little bit and then it stops.
Yeah, it's a funny thing. Like
They're like,
back
"Mom."
home, it's like if you complain or you get upset, you've lost.
You've lost.
You're like,
Yeah, you've lost.
it's getting worse from that point.
If you
'cause
show weakness,
it's over.
Now they're gonna go for it because they know that you care about it. You have to like,
But here, I feel like if you show weakness or you complain, everyone's like, "Oh, are you okay?" It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
nah,
for sure. It's like,
attack. You know, that's when the cracks are showing.
also back home, I mean, if people are fucking with you, like, I mean, growing up playing hockey and stuff, like, being the younger guy on the team, like, you're always going to be, like, the younger guy on the team for a couple of years, like, as you're moving your way up. If the older guys are fucking with you, you have to show, like, okay, I can take it, I can give some back, like, it is what it is. But if you're the kid that, like, actually gets upset, like, you're quiet the rest of the fucking year. Like, it's like a rite of passage of, like, hey, like, let's fucking do it. I don't know. I just guess a lot of people here just don't fucking get that.
Also, like how you become part of the squad, you know, of
It
any
means we
any
like
group,
we're trying to like you.
because you're putting that out there to get something back, and then it starts, you know, you start to fill in the group. But if you're just taking it, it's like you're just not fitting in.
yeah,
Bro, I've had to explain that to some people at B team where I'm like, man, if I didn't like you, I just wouldn't talk to you. Like me saying shit is like I actually like enjoy your company.
yeah.
I'm just making fun of you.
I can't even remember. I think it was last trip, but they were like, oh, they were trying to insult me saying that I was short. I was like, Panda, you think I don't know this? I like, no, nothing can be done about this. I've known since birth, bro. My dad's 5'8". I knew what was coming. My granddad's 5'8", my uncle's 5'8". There's only two. My brother got lucky though. My brother's 5'11".
Oh shit!
Yeah. Fair play. He's done well, but yeah, I knew I was chalk. It's like they're like, oh yeah, you're short. I'm like, and what? It's like I know. It's not like that. I think sometimes they say it like I'm gonna be offended at the fact that I'm short, but and who cares? Yeah. You have to show you don't care. This is
Yeah.
not caring. This is the way.
Yeah. You either got to get like good at scrapping, or you got to get fucking good at the comeback.
Yeah, definitely some guys back home that just weren't too quick with it, but were good scrap. You know, you're like, mate, I'll just leave him alone. Fuck that.
They just throw the first bang, then it's good. Yeah, you keep yourself safe that way. Oh, sure.
There's definitely guys out there. You like bring like a new friend in, he starts going in, you grab him, you're like, he's not the one.
Yeah, let's.
He's got about half of that fucking Ryan whiskey, or he's got about half of that Ryan Coke left before he starts smacking you across the table. So let's give him a break, huh?
Yeah. Fuck.
But yeah, no, it's just, I don't know, it's just different. I mean, it's getting a little bit better. Like, there are obviously some guys who fucking, JB can talk a little.
Yeah,
He's
actually,
fine with it.
true. Yeah.
JB's very funny.
I think not caring is a good thing in general. Right? I think even in jiu-jitsu, this is an important thing to get better. Like, if you don't care about training too much, obviously you should care about getting better and like how to get better. But if you care about getting tapped or you care about winning rounds, this is also what stagnates growth, right?
We talked about this a little bit today.
We
actually.
talked,
Everything doesn't have to be results based. You know,
Yeah.
if every training session is results based on like, oh, I lost that round because I got submitted or I got swept, XYZ, but you should take it a little bit further and be like, what did I gain from that, and try and build from there. It's just what we talked about today.
Yeah, we've talked about it on the last episodes too, is like the biggest thing is like, I mean, I'm not like, again, a broken record, but like, I'm not an idiot. I know I fucking get bitchy and shit like that, but like watching you and Joe and how good you guys are, like putting yourselves in bad positions, getting tapped, don't care, keep going. But you guys just do it just to get better. And I'm like realizing, like, motherfucker, these guys are some of the best guys in the world, and they don't care. Why the fuck? Who am I? Like, who the fuck?
Because like, it's even like people won't remember like matches that you've had. Like, there's no way people remember matches I've had at trials. Like, if I ask like even some of like people who are big fans of me, who did I fight at trial? They're gonna remember specific matches. Oh, I remember Ash and I remember the final. You know, they're not gonna remember the run, right? It's the same thing in training, bro. No one's gonna remember the fact that this random blue belt tapped you, it literally does not matter. The only person who's going to remember is him and his family because he's so happy at home, you know?
Yeah, so you go tell his girl. That's about it.
Then sometimes this is a good thing. Then you also was like, well, at least we're both gaining something, you know? At least he's getting happy and then I'm getting better, you know? I think this was Joseph said he was surprised that I thought like this. Joseph thought I would have been an ego role. But for me, it's always been like, just improve and then have good results at comp. Because comp's where I have the most fun and where I put the most value at, you know? Like, I think this is the difference between me and Joseph, where it's like, Joseph, if there was no competitions, Joseph would still train and he would not compete if he didn't have to, right? Whereas for me, it's like, if there was no comps, I would stop doing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see the point. I do jiu-jitsu and I get better to compete, like, to get accolades, to become the best sixer or whatever it is, right? Whereas Joseph wants, like, perfect jiu-jitsu and to be the best everywhere and like have all this knowledge. So I think this is the difference, right? I also do see a value in that, but if there was no comp, I would be like, why am I even doing the sport, you know? Like I did my first comp 2 months into jiu-jitsu, did my first kids comp. I remember my dad was lying as well because I smoked up this kid. Kuba, shout out Kuba though. I know him now, but I think I armbarred him once and then I think his dad asked my dad, like, oh, how long you been training? Because he'd been training for like 6 years when I've been training for like 3 months, bro. Just got my grade out. My dad's like, yeah, a year or two, you know. Yeah, not too bad. And then it's just then comp. And I remember my dad was like, just trying to get me to lose. Yeah. Because he could see the ego and build it. So my dad was just feeding me into comps, trying to get me against green belts. And eventually I did lose. He was like, thank God. He was talking to the professors and Elliot, and he was just like, bro, I need this kid to lose. He's like, I can't have him keep winning. But yeah, I think that was a good thing as well. Eventually, when I lost, I was like, all right, I still need to.
That's a good dad, though.
Yeah.
You don't want the dad who's just like feeding into your ego.
Nice.
Just get your like,
I love it.
Yeah.
You've been watching Dragon Ball recently. It's the Master Roshi in the first tournament, you know? He's like, I got to beat him, so he knows to keep going.
Exactly. You need to let them know that this is not the pinnacle. They haven't reached the top. This is what my dad was always like. I don't know. I think to be honest, I couldn't have asked for anything better from him as well. Especially like he was always like, he never pushed it. It was like, he would always tell me, I remember there was plenty of time during rugby and like even jiu-jitsu where he would sit me down. He'd be like, do you want to do this? Like, is this something you enjoy? Do you like, because rugby, there was like a part of me that was doing it for him, you know? Quality time, you know, like the Saturday match game training where he would take me and then I get to spend the day, he's there, you know? You kind of get father-son time like this. So there was like an element of me doing it for him. And I remember then there was times where he'd sit me down and be like, do you really want to do this? Is this something you want to do? And it's like, I think that's a good thing from him rather than him pushing me like, oh, you have to do it. It's more like, he's like, if you don't enjoy it, bro, don't do it. Yeah. And I remember like, specifically before I went full-time for jiu-jitsu, it was like, I used to live on top of a pub. I don't know if this is public information or people know this, but I lived up on a top of, my dad managed pubs growing up. So basically from, I think like maybe 8 until I was 16, 17, I used to always live on top of pubs. So I'd have always interaction with people in the pub. You know, I have to be quite sociable. This is why I have decent social skills where, you know, every time I'm coming home, I have to walk through a social situation where I have to talk to people to get back to my house, you know? So it's like, I remember everyone was telling me, oh, you need a plan B, you know? This time I was doing the labor thing, oh, you need to make sure you have this course. And my dad was like, brother, become an electrician. You could do this when you're 50, you know? It's not going anywhere. Yeah. He said, if you want to chase something, do it. He said, I'll support you. I'll take out this, like take out loans. I'll do all of these things, do it, you know? And he was fully supportive. I think this was a big thing. And then, yeah, making sure that it was something I wanted to do and not something he was pushing on me. I think this was also probably why I'm still doing it, right? And then now it's just like reaping the benefits of it.
Yeah. I know I've taught kids for going on a decade now, you know. I've got kids that I taught that are now adults and competing. And I've always seen more success from the kids that wanted to do it and be there. And if they didn't feel like it, maybe they didn't come that week, or some kids come and go, you know. But when they come back and they're wanting to do it and the parents aren't on them, I've always seen more success in those kids than the kids that like their parents are on them. And then when they get their own sort of freedom, they just stop coming. They're like, it takes the fun out of it for them.
I think my dad was on me in a good way where he'd be like, I'm not going to force you to go to training, but then like maybe I'd lose a match and you'd be like, but remember, you know, you were the one who didn't go to training that week.
Yeah.
You're the one who told me that you didn't want to go.
My dad's always been the same. It's like, if you're going to do it, be all in.
Yeah.
You know, don't be in and out. Be all in if this is what you want to do. But if you don't want to do it and you don't want to do it casually, that's fine. But if you're doing it to be the best, be all in, you know?
Yeah. This is a good thing. This is like where it's like he didn't force on me, but he's like acknowledged the fact that if you want to be that good, you have to put the time in. You have to. He was also the one who told me like, if you want to get better, you have to have no ego in the training as well. It's the same thing like when you start a brand new job, for example. It's like if you go into that job thinking you're already going to know how to do everything, and the person above you is not going to be able to show you anything. This is stupid, right? And it's like if you don't listen to people's ideas, you're always going to stagnate yourself, right?
For sure.
It's like people worse than you can have good ideas about loads of different things, right? Like there are blue belts who show me certain things. I'm like, maybe this sucks, but that was quite interesting. Like maybe he's doing something slightly differently, right? Or like the way you've retained garbs, the way I retain guard, the way Joseph, the way you do is like if we all merge and exchange ideas, this is when people get better. Whereas like if it's like, oh, well, I've been to ADCC, so Austin, you can't show me anything. This is a dumb way to think, right? And this is when I feel like people's egos stop them from getting better. Because they're going to be like, oh, I smashed Austin's guard. How can Austin tell me how to play guard? This is stupid way to think, right? Yeah. Whereas if you're more open to ideas, I think this is when definitely you get better.
I've seen that a lot too. I think because Adelaide is such a small community, I've seen like guys that got black belts like a long time ago that were like, I know more than all these guys coming up. Or even though all these guys are studying and they're adapting, these guys are stuck in the past playing just close guard and half guard, you know? It's
It's weird in like the smaller areas like that, like where I'm from, like in Calgary, there are some really good black belts there. Like there are some really good guys, and a lot of them have been like super like helpful with like getting me to come to like America and really giving this a shot and like trying. But then there's also guys like I remember when I was a blue belt or whatever, and I was watching like Craig hit a Choi bar. And I went to practice and I asked one of them, I was like, hey, what do you think about this? And they're like, that's not real. There's no way you can hold on to that. And I was like, well, the guy just hit it at ADCC. And I remember like being in the sport, but like I came from other sports and like I had like a really good like dad, like when it came to sports too. Like he was always just like, I was lucky where my dad never played hockey. I just randomly wanted to play hockey. And it turns out where I lived was a big hockey place. So like my dad had no idea. I was just making teams. Then finally he got a bill for one of the teams I was supposed to play on. And he was like,
oh, sick.
What the fuck? No, like he was like, what the fuck? I'm like, we're have to spend this much money. Like, what is he doing? And like, well, he made this team. And I remember like he had a talk with me then where he was like, I will never hold you back. Like, we'll pay for it. We'll get you in here. But if you're going to do this and I'm going to put out the money, I don't need you to be the best. I don't need you to be the most talented. But there's no excuse on why you can't be the hardest working guy. So if you're not the hardest working fucking kid, I'm just going to pull you aside and be like, we can go play rec league. Like, I don't fucking care. Like, but this is on you. Like, you have to figure this out. But like, and like, he was always like trying to find people to like teach stuff. And he was always like, you have to listen to people. So like, when I like run into like this black belt from like a random place, I was like, yo, like, how do I do a Choi bar? And he's like, that's not real. And I'm like showing him a video of Craig doing a Choi bar. And he's like, I don't know, man. Like, there's no way it's real. And I'm like, well, he just did it. The semifinals of like the biggest tournament in the world. Like,
yeah,
I think you can learn it.
I think everything is real to a degree. It just depends what fits into your game and what is like high percentage. Because it's like, if you train 3 times a week and you have a family, you have a job, brother, don't be coming in talking about like you're training for 2 months, you want to do all this crab, bribery, bolo stuff, right? Learn some of the high percentage things first, and then I feel like it's okay to branch off. Or if you're literally just doing it because this is something you want to do, like this is also another thing. I don't mind if they just want to do bolos, you know, because it's like fair. I mean, I would make them know, brother, you're probably going to get pumped. And you know, and it's like if you train 3 times a week, you don't want to get pumped because these are the guys who like, then it's more like they kind of come in, they want to win the rounds, you know, have this sort of like, you have an ego when you train like that, but it's kind of a given, right? It's like they don't understand, they're not doing it professionally, so it's okay. But I would definitely recommend first for them to learn high percentage, but then if they really want to do it, I'm not going to like retain information. This is something people do where it's like, oh, I don't want to show them this pass, you know, I don't want to give them this information, I don't want to like, oh, I don't want to show them this footlock. It's like, brother, if they can, just because they know it, if that means you can't do it anymore, this is not good, man. Like, because eventually, if you have enough matches, people are going to be able to study what you do. And if just because they know, okay, well, Owen does Aokis, now they can stop me from Aoki and them, this is a fault on my part.
Yeah.
How can they now stop me just because they know what I'm going for? It's maybe different if you have like the niche little like buggy chokes and things like this. Maybe then there's more like kind of you can catch people by surprise. But I feel like you should be able to impose your will on people. Like I could tell certain people exactly what I'm going to do in the round, and I would do exactly what I said I was going to do. You know, this is also something I value where it's like I'm going to take this guy down with this takedown, pass him like this, and then sub him like this. And when the skill gap's big enough, you should be able to do this, right?
You did that with at ADCC
I did, yes.
with Souza. You're like, give me, you're like, I want him first round, and then you got him, and you fucking did it.
And then same thing with Airbag. I said I was going to leg lock Airbag as well. It's like, well, it should have been the manifestation.
That's it.
We were talking about McGregor. He did this a lot. This was a lot of, I used to watch him load. I used to watch loads of WWE as well. Loads of McGregor, loads of WWE. This was like what I found was entertaining, you know? Even though you know it's fake, it's still like it gets the people going, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's like,
It draws out real emotion, you know, for
you
sure.
have the people who love you and the people who hate you. And it's like, without that, it's like, I think the way I always looked at it is, without the Connors, there's no Khabibs, right? If everyone's just humbled, it's like, it's the norm. It's kind of boring. Whereas you kind of need the scapegoat, right? You need somebody to be too outgoing, too brash, too confident, too this, too that, to then like balance out the spectrum, right? So then you can appreciate the people who are humble, and then you can also appreciate the guys who are going to talk shit, stir the drama, you know?
You need
Especially
to get the
just-
casuals,
Yeah.
right? Conor gets the casuals. Like, you don't need to know anything about fighting.
Had the whole of Ireland
Yeah.
flying to Vegas to support him
Yeah.
for weigh-ins. Bro.
Yeah.
Not even for the real match, for weigh-ins. Just packed up.
I bet half the Irish guys that were at those weigh-ins didn't make it to the fight. Just trashed, you know? Half of them are locked up in the drunk tank for sure.
Yeah.
For sure, just gone.
But like that kind of stuff, like gets the people like again, like fucking jiu-jitsu, like it's tough to watch. Like it is. Like I watch my buddies, like I study and stuff like that. But like if I show someone like okay, this is a guy who's super technical, blah blah blah, watch him, they're like, okay, cool. But if I show someone like a video of like you with the Ray Lewis jersey doing the fucking I'm buckled in, all this shit, running around screaming, people are gonna be like, what is this?
Yeah.
Like the whole like you at trials with like the blood coming out of your mouth, like all these like electric moments. I'm like, do you want, like I didn't have to show jiu-jitsu, I just show these, and they're like, what sport is this? I want to watch this.
That trials is crazy. This is the first time I really saw you. And like that, I think for me, the European trials is wild. The environment in that building is insane.
Yeah.
Maybe even comes from like just like a football background, you know. The whole of Europe has like
hooligan.
the team mentality that you don't quite get anywhere else in the world, I don't think. And when your boys are running on the mat, when you're winning and it's going off, it's crazy.
I think
you
the
know,
thing with this as well, it's like in Europe, when they're like American trials, right? People don't really represent their state too tough, you know?
Yeah.
It's more like everyone's American. Whereas in the European trials, right? It was like after, like once all the matches were in the semis and stuff like this, it was like I was the only British guy left. So all the British guys that came to compete and all the British guys that came to watch their friends, all of a sudden just wanted me to win because they want somebody from the UK to win and get to ADCC and represent, right? So the same thing where it's like everyone's getting behind me and they're like, bro, Owen's in the final. He's about to do the thing, you know?
Yeah.
So I think, I had Faris there, David, all that, everyone shouting, you know, chanting and shit. Then that gets me going. I'm getting gassed.
Yeah.
I'm getting hype. I'm like, I'm going to do the thing.
Yeah, for me, like the top 3 moments at the trials, like in terms of like just the crowd being electric. You won. For me at the time, because Cams was one of the boys, you know, it was tough, you know. I didn't know Owen at this point. Now Owen's one of the boys, obviously. But like the crowd's going nuts, you know, and you just feel it. Even though like for us, it was sad to see Cam lose the finals, you still feel that energy. And then Joseph went on that run. And then Joseph backsteps and gives his back the whole stadium.
You see
It's
the
like,
little Mateus
fuck,
in the
Mateus'
back.
hands go on his head. It's crazy. And then he comes back and he wins after the greatest trials run of all time.
Yes.
And the crowd's going nuts. And then the final one, and I think it's what you said, it's like it had got to the point where it had gone beyond city, country, into like continent, because Heike lifted Big Dan up and swept his leg. Big Dan, you know, I believe he's Romanian background, something like this, but they all see him as American, you know. He sweeps his leg, the place goes electric, man.
crazy.
Europe like came together in that moment. It solved all the problems in Europe, you know. It was crazy.
Nah, I remember. I think I remember because it was the start of the day, and I remember. But that's the thing with the European trials as well. People like to say like the American. I don't know how true this is, right? But everyone's like, oh, the American trials are tougher. It's a 2-day tournament. But it's like every time I watch it, it's like the best guys have scrubs the first day and then hard matches the second day.
Yeah.
Whereas, bro, my first match was 9:30 a.m. My last match was 7:30 p.m.
Yeah.
I was there competing the whole day. It's like I had 5 or 6 matches. And it's like I have a match, an hour and a half wait. Have a match, hour and a half wait. Have a match, 2 hours wait, and I have a match, 30-minute wait, 30-minute wait, 30-minute wait. You know, and it's like then all of a sudden they're back to back to back because you know the brackets are getting smaller. But I remember the morning I was telling Jax here, I was like, bro, I'm gonna fucking win today. You know, I woke up, had the Ray Lewis on there, the highlight reel was playing. I was like, I could feel it. The energy's right. I was like, I feel good. I'm like, I'm winning this shit for sure. And then he told me about Joseph. And I was like, fuck, who's this random kid, you know? And then Joseph beats Mateus, and I'm there trying to focus on, man. I'm like, oh, who's this little Asian guy, you know, smoking it up? And then this is the first time I met Joseph as well, because we both won, and we're both sitting there, and then we're like, I think somebody else was like, oh, so who's the youngest one to win it? And then me and him were looking at each other, we're like, how old are you? We're both like, 19. Well, I think, we're both 19 or 18 at the time, right? Like 19. And I was like, when's your birthday? And he was like, July. And I was like, fuck, I'm July as well. And we're both sitting there like, all right, we need to find out who's the youngest, bro. And this motherfucker's July 30th, and I'm July 13th. So he is the youngest European trials winner in the men's division. But he didn't do ADCC, so technically I'm the youngest competitor. It's European ADCC competitor, because he went to CGI. But it was literally, for 15 minutes, I was the youngest winner. And then he stole it from me.
It was cool even watching it on like the stream. Like you could feel it. Like I was watching a bunch of it and I was like, man, it seems fucking sick there. Like I did like going to like American trials and stuff. Like it's cool. It's definitely cool. Like you get pretty hyped up, but it's definitely more like individualized, I'd say here. Like it's not like there is like a team aspect, but I feel like back home, like there's a lot more of a team aspect where like even still, man, like anytime like I have Canadians come and like train and shit. Like, I want any of, like, the Canadians to do fucking well. Like, I want so bad from anyone from, like, where I'm from, like, my province, like, Alberta, like, Huthafa's the boy, like, Caleb's the boy, like, Christian, Corey Guittard, like, I want any of us to fucking break out and do something. Because then it's like, fuck yeah, like, let's go, like, it's the shit.
I think this is the thing where it's with, like, the high key thing, for example, it's like, Big Dan's considered, like, one of the best American guys, and it's like, then we're seeing the European guy beat him. Yeah. Everyone's like, fuck yeah, the European guys are coming, you know? This is the whole thing where it's like, even when everyone back home is watching me do good at ADCC, everyone's like, finally, like, it's the same thing when Flanagan went off the first ADCC. Everyone's like, finally, a UK guy's doing bits, you know? Like, because he was the first one to kind of, like, break the cycle, you know? He won 2 matches, and then obviously Fionn won. But I think Fion's gone too clear now, so it doesn't even matter anymore, you know? She's just the best woman. So I think it's more so now when you've seen some of the men break into the division and do good, this is pretty sick.
Yeah, just to touch on something you said before, it was like when everyone was like, the US is the best trials. I think that's gone now, you know? It's hard to say that now. It's definitely the most grueling. There's no arguing that because of the numbers. But, you know?
European
trials winner.
Beg beat first European trial winner Dorian.
Yeah.
Joseph Chen beat Elijah Dorsey. I'm just saying.
I beat the Brazil and the US trials winner from Asia, and that's considered the weakest of the trials, you know? So I think
European trials they're coming up, you know what I'm saying?
Luke Griffith, European trials winner, 2nd place, you know?
For sure, right?
So it's like, I think now it's like there's such good talent everywhere. So I think every division in every trials is tough now.
For sure. I think the order's probably right. I mean, it just depends what division, right? And how's the run?
Yeah.
Because it's like, for 77, I generally haven't seen a harder run than Joseph's run.
No.
That was fucking insane.
Like, it was crazy. Fair play. It was crazy. If Joseph didn't have that day, I would have been way more clouded. I wouldn't be sitting here with 30k followers. I would have 80, you know? But, you know, respect. I love him now. He deserves it, to be fair. Very, very nice guy.
You've been guest number 1 on the podcast, brother.
But, yeah, I think for sure it's like different. For sure, it's definitely grueling because there's so many more competitors in the American divisions, but it's like there's so many more scrubs. Yeah, it's just like there's so many more free matches. Like I watch the guys who always make it to like the top 4, top 5, and they have like they've submitted everyone up until like the quarters, and then they have the 6 matches.
The matches, yeah,
where you get like Ethan versus Keith, and you get these compare matches. You know, Dorian versus Ethan. These are the ones where it's like then you're like, okay, now it's getting dicey. Whereas like people had harder matches earlier on in the division, right? Where it's like Ash is fighting decent guys early, I'm fighting good guys early, you know?
Yeah, you fought like another like American European crossover Deagle very early.
Yeah,
in the
one third round.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was crazy.
My second was like 9 seconds. The second match outside heel hook actually. The little false sweep pass across. I remember that. That guy was shook.
That's like the European move.
Yeah.
The false reap pass across.
Across outside heel hook. Yeah. Taylor sick of that one. Owen and Flanagan sick of that one. This is the UK move.
That's crazy.
It's fucking sick. I remember watching those trials and you guys were all doing that. And I immediately went to him and I was like, what the fuck is this? And he was like, we can go over this. But
Yeah, because I went to London around just after I won trials, and Taylor hit it on me a couple times, and I was like, "This what the fuck?"
I showed it to him like right after I won trials, and he was like, "What's this little thing you're doing?" And then he started slamming people with it. One trial, basically subbed everyone with the same move. I was like, sick. But yeah, I think also back to what you're saying as well, like that atmosphere. I feel like then that also it plays a part against the person you're against. You know, for example, like obviously Cam had you guys there, but it's like Cam has to now come out knowing that I've got this fucking massive crowd here chanting my name. And now there's all the pressures on him, you know, where it's like that ups the ante for him. It probably makes him more nervous, you know, makes a higher press situation for him where it's like.
He had such a good run too, and you had such a good run. And it was like two guys that hadn't had this exposure before meeting in the finals, and he just heel hooked McNally. You just beat Ash, you know, and it run up to this meeting point where the match, I think it was like dead silent at points. And then you started building momentum, and the crowd's building and building. It was like one of those things. It was just, it's so hard to recreate moments like that, you know?
it's definitely a real thing because, like, I mean, every, like, professional sport, they do home field advantage, you know what I mean? Like, in playoffs, it's like, okay, well, who's going to get home field advantage? And that's, like, a big thing, right? Like, okay, we're bringing it back home. We're going to win in front of there. Like, it's definitely a thing.
Yeah, and then it's like, it depends, because certain people play well to that, you know? Sometimes I like being the heel, you know, where it's like everyone's against you, you know? The dominant me here thing, I'm like British Jiu-Jitsu's on top, and all the Americans are like, boo, boo, you know, I kind of like being the heel a little bit. So I think it definitely depends, right? You see it even in like basketball stuff like Anthony Edwards, he loves it when he's playing away. He's like, go home. He's like, you've had suck.
Yeah. Something like, even like the Michael Jordan shit. I mean, like going back and watching like The Last Dance, like that guy could have went anywhere and he was just like,
The man, you know?
I'm the fucking man. Like, I don't care.
They're like, they're hitting this one to the crowd.
It's crazy, bro. That documentary makes me want to run through a fucking wall. Every episode
dude,
of that.
it's unreal.
It's crazy.
So good.
Dennis Rodman's the hero of that documentary, in my opinion, you know? He's coming to training, just getting fucking slaughtered, you know?
Bro, he goes to his coaches and Michael during playoffs and he's like, I need a week. They're like, what? He's like, I need 7 days in Vegas.
Yeah.
And they're like,
It's like me and Madonna heading out, you know?
Yeah, it's like, all right,
I
dude.
need 7 days to go in.
If you've been to Vegas, you know you never need 7 days. 3's enough.
3 was enough. 3 was enough. Almost died, bro. Fuck.
But the guys who like thrive in that stuff, like they can't even turn it off. Like, I was watching like pretty sick algorithm last night on the old reels. It was just people talking about Michael Jordan. And I guess they did like some like Hall of Fame thing this year where it was like, I forget what the fuck it was, but it was a bunch of like older players like Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, all of them like showing up to a game. And it was Dwayne Wade and Carmelo Anthony talking on a podcast. And they're like, man, Michael still pulls up and everyone shuts up. And like he holds court and everyone's like, God damn.
All
Like,
levels, yeah.
it's the fucking man. Like, and he like, no, like, dude, he shows up and he immediately starts talking shit to people. He's like looking at all the young guys. He's like, I got you. I got him. You're nothing. Apparently he looked at Magic Johnson and like they show the clip and he's like, put your shoes on right now. I'll stomp you. And they're in like a fucking suit. They're old men. And the first thing he says to Magic Johnson, he's like, what are you laughing at? He's like, put the shoes on right now. We'll go play one-on-one. Nothing. And then he walks out. It's like, bro, calm down. It's over. Like,
It got to have been tough to be that guy's kid, you know?
Yeah.
You're just trying to shoot some basketballs in the backyard and he's just telling you he's got to stomp you, you know? You're like, fuck, I'm 8 years old, Dad.
It's above you, man. You can't touch. I'll dunk on you, this little 8-year-old. Just posterizing them. I think this is like an important thing where it's like their like self-confidence and like the manifestation thing of like believing you're gonna win. Like a lot of the times when people find it funny, but it's a real thing that I do. Is like I imagine the celebrations and I imagine like what I'm gonna do after I win. You know, it's like in my mind it's like you already assume you win. Obviously you're not gonna win them all. And the good thing about jiu-jitsu is like you don't need to win every match. It's like it's not like MMA where like you can be fucking 13-0 and then you lose and your career is like taking a massive hit. Oh, jiu-jitsu, bro, people lose all the time, and it's like almost, bro, like Adam Wazinski had like the crazy comeback story where he's like lost, and then he started winning, and everyone loves it even more, you know?
he's the people's champ.
Yeah, for sure, right? So it's like in jiu-jitsu, it's like, bro, you can lose, and then no one cares. It gets forgotten and you can win again, right? So I think it's very important that you believe that you can win, right? If you go into a tournament thinking like that you're not going to win or you're just happy to be there, like Shushu, I like Shushu. He's pretty good, but like I remember when he was at ADCC, he was like just happy to be there. And like he was like, oh, I want to take photos with you guys. I was like, bro, we're here to win, man.
Yeah.
Like I'm in this division to win. I'm not here thinking about, oh, it's sick that my name's next to Diego Hayes, Pato for research. I'm like, brother, I'm gonna smash these guys. Like I'm the best in this division. I'm gonna win. Inevitably, got full on. Charge it. Get my lick back. I'll get my lick back.
Oh,
But
yeah.
you know, if I went in there thinking I'm gonna lose, like, oh, I don't know, Gabriel Sosa's got silver before. We used to train, he used to smash me. Then it's like, even if you make jokes about it, I feel like this is when like you start to perform worse as well. When you believe you're gonna win and you believe you're gonna perform well, this is also what like amplifies your performance, right? You go in there, even like sometimes I've had shit preparation for matches. Bro, trials, I literally broke my foot a month before, didn't train until a week up, and I was just doing cardio, but I was like, I don't even need to train. So my cardio is sick now. I'm not gonna get tired.
Yeah.
And I was like, if I'm not gonna get tired, like the scariest thing is getting tired in a match, and then you get like
And in
gassed.
6 minutes, you just
Like,
blast it.
6 minutes, I can just continuously pass for 6 minutes. I was like, bro, I'm gonna do sick. And I went in there, I was like, Jack, yeah, I feel great. My foot feels fine. I'm gonna smash everyone, you know? I think this is an important thing, like the manifestation, self-belief. I feel like some people are lacking this, and then you see it in like competition where you have like the gym warriors, the guy who do sick in the gym, and then the pressure of comp, and then they just crumble and face that pressure, right?
It's so important to have it at a young age too, and like not having like you have it, like you have had it. So like it's something that you can just keep this going. And,
It's
like
because I've been competing in sports forever.
Yeah.
Like since I was a kid, my dad would always just be like, all right, gymnastics, now rugby, fucking tennis, cricket, everything. He's like, and anything I do, he's like, go compete, go do matches, go compete against other schools, go do this, where it's like, you get the feeling of losing and winning. And then obviously people who have competed and people who haven't competed, I'm sure you know, winning feels much fun compared to losing, you know? So it's like, then you seek that, like, okay, I want to win. Or I know I can win, you know? And it's like, you seek that validation of wanting to win at a time, right?
yeah,
Who knows? Down the line, it might be a bad thing, but right now it's good.
for sure.
Tennis, you want to compete. Tennis, you want to win. You know?
Bro, we've done a couple tournaments where me and him have fucking traveled around. He just comes and coaches, and like I'll go do an open here and open there, and every day like we. You know me good enough now. Like we'll be walking, and all of a sudden Declan will look at me like, "You're getting quiet," and I'm like, "Fuck." And like we know that, like, because I mean, if you hang around me, I never shut the fuck up. I'm always just fucking going. But he can call it out now, where he's like, "You're getting quiet," and then I'm like, "Ah, goddamn." And he's like, "Man, you just gotta like loosen up." And it's like a weird habit that I've gotten to, where it's like I moved to, and all of a sudden it was just like. It's the opposite where it's like, fuck, like, I feel like it's not even that like you want to, it feels like it's like, I need to do this now, I need to do this here, I need to do this now, but then it's like, you get into like a negative self-talk, and like, you're almost like, one of the things like I'm realizing now is like, and we've talked about this at lengths, but like, regardless of how you're going to think about how you're going to do, if you're going to think you're going to do great, or if you're going to think you're going to do bad, you might as well think you're going to do great, because the outcome's the outcome, so you might as well be fucking positive, you know what I mean? Like, going into it, I'd rather be the guy who had a good time going in, get smashed, go home, or you win and you were right, other than the guy who was miserable heading there, and it happened, and then you're miserable again. It's like, well, at least you know what I mean? Like,
I try and make competition fun.
yeah,
I don't put too much, bro. Jiu-jitsu is not serious, bro.
No.
It is not that deep.
Yeah.
Like, for example, for you, brother, you lose an IBJJF Open, you go home, your wife's there, your job's there, nothing's changed.
yeah,
Right? It's not like you don't
lose any of that.
You don't lose.
Nothing,
It's
yeah.
not that deep, you know. It's like you can go there and you're gonna be fine, right? And it's like people put too much pressure on it, like it's the weight of the world, you know. It's like the viewership is not even enough where it's like to feel that pressure, you know.
yeah,
Whereas like, and it's the same thing when I think I heard this the other day. It's like if you like basketball players, right? They still think about the fact that like when they're playing, they're having fun. They're styling on people. They're going there for highlights. They're going there for dunks. You know, they're crossing people up, breaking people's ankles. They're making it fun. Then they perform better, right? It's when they put like so much pressure on the situation. Okay, I need to score fucking 30 points this game, otherwise my career average, things like this. Then you start like putting pressure on yourself, and then you start thinking about way different things. Like, oh, if I lose this match, then maybe I won't be able to fight this guy next. Where it's like, if you just go in, I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna smash this guy. And we're all gonna go home. It's gonna be sick, right?
yeah,
And you go in, you lose, is what it is. Charge it, right? And it's like, But it's also, I remember a distinct memory of like, I think this was Worlds where it's like where I got silver, and people came up to me like, "Oh my god, you did so good, man! You should be proud of yourself." And I was like, "Brother, I came here to win. You think I'm happy with silver, bronze? And I wanted to win this shit." You know, Europeans was the biggest one where it was like, I was sure I could have won as well, and it's just like a silly mistake. And then like people are like, "Oh, it's so sick that you like medaled and stuff like this," and I'm just here crashed now in the back. I'm like, "Don't even chat to me, man." They said, "I came here to win." They said, "Give me a couple hours, I'll calm down, and then we'll go again," right? But that's the thing, right? It's like I was only annoyed for this distinct period of time. Then you realize, okay, plenty more comps to come.
It's gone. We've got to do it again. You know,
but it's simple. The LECC, right? It's like I lost. I was like, fuck, so annoying. I lost, but at least like try and look at the benefits. My name's out there now. People understand. I'm gonna have more matches. I'm sure I'm gonna get to fight Power many times again. Prove that I'm better than him. Get my lip for sure. Yeah. You know, and then make it undeniable that it's just like I am one of the best. You know, and just there's way more comps that I can do, right? And it's also have a lot of time to do that. So
you haven't even scratched the surface on your career. You're so fucking young, man. Like
so many more matches, so many more highlights, so many more reels, highlight reels, so many more Ray Lewis edits that could be made.
Exactly.
The day Ray Lewis says little Owen Jones shout out, bro, this will be
we got
to remember. We gotta get Ray Lewis to fucking co-sign sound, you know.
Open invite to the pod, Ray, too. You know, if you want to sit in the same chair as Mr. Owen Jones here, more than welcome.
Bro, I remember I was at ADCC and the photographer was taking photos of me and he was like, "Oh, 52," and he was like, "Is this for Ray Lewis?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Oh, I shot photos for Ray Lewis before. I'm gonna send him a DM." I was like, "Do that right now in front of me, show me." And he DM'd Ray Lewis, and then Ray Lewis was like, "Haha, sick." And I was like, "All right." I was like, "All right, we're getting there. We're making steps. We're making steps." So I was like, "Now I just need a little Ray Lewis video of him just shouting, saying, 'Owen Jones, you're the man.'" And that's gonna be the start of every edit I make from now on.
What was the whole Ray Lewis thing? Because like I didn't get it because in my mind I was like, man, they're from Europe. They're probably big soccer guys. And then finally JB was like, dude, the 52s for Ray Lewis. I was like, that's what that is?
Yeah.
Because I didn't know you that well, right? Like I really started talking to you more like this trip and stuff. But like when I first saw that, I was like, I don't. And JB was like, it's Ray Lewis. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I didn't think they watched NFL.
I think football, like soccer, is the hardest sport like to get into. Is like there's some people that do it at such a high level, but like I played rugby, right? And then I could see the correlation between rugby and the NFL and like American football. And seeing someone like Ray Lewis just flatlining people was something for me, you know? I always enjoyed defending and I always enjoyed like big hits and stuff like that. And then when you took out the constraints of having to like be below the fucking like hip line and all these things that like the rugby rules, like no high tackles. When you take away, and like in rugby, like you have to wrap that hands, all of these things, right? When you take away all of this and you can just straight up hit the guy as hard as you want, and you're watching Ray Lewis just flatlining motherfuckers, just running at them and smacking them. Or you see like Brian Dawkins, he's like doing the Wolverine jump on people's back, you know, he's dragging them down. I was like, all right, I can see the entertainment in this, you know?
Yeah.
And then that was where it kind of like stemmed from. And then I started like seeing edits of them and like highlight reels. And then this would get me pumped up before comp. And I'll be like, you know, getting hype. Another Pugard. But it's like, it's more so it was like something that I feel like, and it's aura, man, you know? Ray Lewis is like an alpha, you know? He walks into the room, I'm sure he's going to like control the room, right? And there's things like just watching him smash people was just something I always found entertaining. And then, yeah, kind of went on from there. Same thing with basketball, you know? You watch someone get dunked on, it's just like unreal, you know? Like John Moran, you watch him just jump over someone, just like fair play.
Yeah.
He's just posterizing people all the time. It's like, these are like more entertaining things than like different sports. Like jiu-jitsu, I've never watched a match and seen someone do a celebration and been like, wow, that was sick, you know? It's very, very infrequently that happens, you know? Almost every NFL game, something happens where you're like, fuck, that was a highlight, you know?
It's just shit that gets, I guess that's true. Just shit that gets you fired up. I mean, like my like wife even said that because like I was watching like The Last Dance and stuff. Or last night I'm watching Michael Jordan shit. And I remember I started watching The Last Dance. She's like, "Why do you like this so much? I've never seen you play basketball. I've never even seen you watch basketball." And I was like, "It's not about."
Yeah, you could.
I was like, Michael Jordan. If he was playing ping pong, if he acted like this, I'll watch. I don't give a fuck. Like if you have this confidence.
Have you seen the guy, the bowling guy?
Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah.
I am. Or
Who do you think you are? I am. You know, he's like still like this. If you talk the talk, man, you're gonna bring eyes and you're gonna bring like the people to watch. So I think this is important, right?
Bro, have you seen the video of that guy where he's like,
so good.
What the fuck does he say? He's like, hate me or love me, you watched. And he walks away. Like, what the fuck?
That's his like retirement speech or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hate me or love me, you watched. And he just walks off, and you're like, fuck it.
Unreal.
This guy's the fucking man.
I think I appreciated like some of the, and I appreciate how real some of these guys are as well. You know how it's like. Obviously, there's the whole like hard work beats talent thing, and I think this is true to a degree, right? But then there's always the point where it's like there's only so many hours in the day, and it's like at the end of the day, the talent is going to prevail, right? It's like it's stupid to think that Messi isn't the GOAT because Messi's the GOAT because he trains this amount of times a day, bro. Everyone who's playing football is fucking to the highest level, is training as hard as they can, right?
Yeah.
There's just that big differentiator where it's like it just comes natural to them, or they have certain like attributes, you know? Like Usain Bolt, fastest man in the world, bro. You think he's the fastest man in the world because he's like running faster than, like running more frequently than the other guys or training harder than the other guys? No, he's just built to be the fastest man in the world. You know, it's the same thing. But you look at Joseph, you're like, Joseph trains so much, it's ridiculous, right? 3 times a day. But I'm sure I can get somebody else train the exact amount of time Joseph's trained, brother, and they wouldn't even be
able to touch
competitive
it.
with like high level guys at all, you know? It's just something that like comes natural to him, and he's very good at problem solving, and it's like a lot of things he solved himself, right? And a lot of instructions obviously watching, but then it's like you see he's watched all these instructions, but majority of the stuff he does is like altered to his game, you know, and it's like stuff that he's kind of come up with as well himself, and like stuff he's modified. So it's like things like that. And for me as well, I never really watched instructions, right? It's more just coming up with things on the fly, you know, like whatever feels natural. So like I think hard work is obviously important, but at the end of the day, if you're not talented, it's like
Yeah, you've got to have attributes behind you for sure, just to be in any like
Mickey
athletic
Rod, bro.
endeavor, you know.
Mickey Rod is one of the best grapplers in the world, and he is not that talented, right? Like I show him shit all the time that's like basic shit, and he's like, oh wow, I never knew that, you know. But he's out here fucking beating the best guys in the world because of attributes, you know. He's just an actual athlete in a sport that has no athletes, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's it's fucking true though. Like it. There are like dude, Nick Mattia,
brother,
guy's a freak. He does know stuff. He's tactical.
There are rounds in the gym where I'd much rather go with a black belt of 15 years who knows a ton of shit than a white belt who's come in, who's played D1 football, and you're just like, this is going to be a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, dude. Bro, it's like, because there are obviously, I think this is the thing that like, I guess interests people in jiu-jitsu, is there can be both sides of the spectrum.
Yeah.
As in you can be like super technical and have that like Joseph mindset where it's like, but people are fooled. I think Joseph's not athletic. Brother, watch the motherfucker jump. Bro, he jumps, bro, he's athletic as fuck. He's mad flexible. He's strong. It's like, he just portrays the image very well of like, and he is very smart and he is trained very technical, right? But it's like, there is that spectrum where like, there are people who are just super technical but then they also always have attributes. But I think people look beyond this, right? Where it's like, in other sports, the attributes tend to be similar things. Okay, big, strong, fast, right? These are, whereas jiu-jitsu, it can be like small, flexible, you know, like autistic tends to be the weak ones that pops up, you know? Right? Whereas like, in other sports, it's mainly focused on like attributes such as like speed.
Because you can hide like athleticism. Like a lot of times, like people can watch someone play guard and be like, "Oh, he's not athletic." But like I remember when I moved here, everyone was like, "Well, you can probably copy a lot what Craig does. He's not that athletic." And I was like, "Oh, really? That's what I thought too." And then I rolled with him, and I was like, "What in the fuck are you made out of?"
Craig's mega athletic.
Yeah, it feels
crazy.
Feels like Superman.
We used to have the stickers on the pole.
I was there for that.
And it's like, obviously, Heisen was at the top. There's no arguing that one. But number 2 was Craig, you know?
Craig beat Heisen.
Did he really? I thought he was number 2.
No, smoked him.
Well, this is jump.
Yeah, vert. Crazy.
Bro, I saw Craig doing it, and I was like, "Give me the tape. I'm gonna fucking murder Craig. There's no fucking way." And then I was like, "Oh shit, he actually has like fucking hops."
Yeah.
And I remember went home and told people. Actually, you know what? I don't even know how many minutes we are in. 40 minutes ago, when I said that black belt told me that Choi bar that Craig thing didn't work, he might have been right. There is shit Craig does. It's not gonna work for me, brother. Like Craig is a fucking freak, dude. Like
Joseph is a freak too, though. Like a funny story of Joseph is JB was doing his knees over toes workouts or whatever he was doing at the time, and he's trying to do Nordics, and he's doing them to like a Bozo ball or whatever. And Joe's like, "What's that?" And JB's like, "Oh, it's a Nordic. Here, try it with like the ball, and Joe's like, oh yeah, just locks in 4 off the bat. Just never done them before, just freakish.
Bro, we were all working out ABP and he did that. And then all of a sudden Joe was like, I don't think I need the ball. So we moved the ball. He's like, is there an intermediate between the floor and the ball? And we like got something else. And he was like, bang. I was like, that was too easy. Go to the floor. He's like, just did like 8.
Yeah, I think
He's like, oh, these aren't that bad. You guys have struggles with this? I'm like,
He's just doing muscle ups in the corner, and you're like, what the fuck?
bro, he is strong. I love Kenta as well. Kenta's like, people are fooled. They think Joseph is very technical. At the end of the day, he's a spaz. It's true, bro. The Tarzan match, when things get rough, bro, Joseph
Just
gets that
whipped
full
it out.
spaz, bro, man. Just starts going crazy. But I do think, yeah, it's hidden attributes, right? Flexibility, different strengths, you know, where it's like everyone at the highest level has an attribute where they're like, either their legs are freaky strong, they have a good squeeze. Like Craig's squeeze is pretty ridiculous, right? He feels like a fucking man of steel when he's holding my wrist. I'm like, wow.
He guillotined me from 50-50.
Yeah, bro.
But looking back at my comp record, that's maybe not as hard as I think it should be, you know? But
He high risk Joseph from my over under, but
crazy.
yeah, it's pretty mad, right? It's like everyone has them attributes, you know. Like, for example, you were like, when you saw me passing on the Sunday, you were like, wow, you can actually pass guard, you know. It's like different things that you don't see people do much, right? It's like
because whenever I was looking stuff up with you, it was leg locks and like the reverse close guard
easy, isn't it?
and this shit. And I was like, that's nice. And then they were like, Joseph was like, oh, roll with Austin. So me and you were like, all right. I was like, all right, we'll go. He's a little bit smaller. And then you just cut my guard 4 times. And I like got off and looked at Declan and he was like, you can't give Owen a fucking inch, man. Like, he's got good guard pass. I was like, I didn't fucking know. I thought he was just doing leg locks and shit. I was like, what the fuck?
Nah,
And then I started watching more of your rounds. And I was like, oh, the kid's fucking. Like, there you go. We learn a little bit more.
Yeah. No, it's just leg locks are just so easy, bro. It's so good. You know, you go into a match. You know, if I was gonna wrestle with Gairbag and try and pass him, it's just so much effort. Just grab the leg, just rip it.
That was a good video I found on Instagram too of you. You were talking about the Gairbag match at ADCC, and like we're going back to the beginning of the episode, but like how you were like training doesn't matter. And there was I forget what podcast you were on, but you were saying like there's footage of Gairbag getting the better of me in training,
Yeah.
but who gives a fuck because I tapped him at the big show,
No one cares.
and it's like
I was like, oh my god, Owen tapped Gairbag in 30 seconds or some shit. You know, it's like people don't care about hit pass on my guard in training or whatever. You know,
No.
Same thing is like there's so many gym warriors who are just sick in the gym, and it's like their name never gets out there because they just can't perform the comp, or they're like, and it's probably because they put too much weight on training. You know, It's like if you compete in training all the time, it's just so hard to get good. And comp's so much different, right? It's like I think the main thing that people forget is like in the gym, you want to do jiu-jitsu, right? It's like, okay, for example, I'm going to step into your guard, right? I'm going to let you play Delhi. I'm going to now try pass. I'm going to let you, not even let you work. I'm going to try and work some certain stuff, right? Whereas like, okay, now it's comp. All right, this guy is a good straight full log, bro. I am not letting him put me in outside that shit. I'm not letting it enter my legs. I'm going to be negative. I'm not going to let him do his game, right? Then it's like people can't get going, you know? So it's like people in the gym who are like, oh, this guy's so sick. He fucks me up. But then if you compete against him, bro, you might fuck him up because he can't get his game going. Whereas in the gym, he's so used to people like, you know,
Just allowing it.
letting him get connection, for example, like from guard, right? It's like if you're so used to people stepping into headquarters and then working from there, then he fight Dorian, and he's just not gonna let you do that. You're gonna get fucked, right? You need to be able to like impose your will, I guess. I don't know, it's kind of a gay saying, but like, yeah, I guess you have to like be able to enforce like your jiu-jitsu on them, you know?
No, yeah.
Be able to, if you can't forcefully make them come into your game, then you're gonna get fucked, basically.
Yeah. I think that was like a big thing with like, I mean, I've never trained there, I never went there. But like the Danaher guys, John was like, there's stories about how like, even Craig was saying there's stories where like, John doesn't let them pick their training partners. He's like, you're going to go with this guy. You're going to start from here. So like, he's the big dog where he's like, there won't be this like, I'm this, so I'm not like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm going to put you in this position. You're going to do it or else you don't have to train here. You know what I mean? Which is like a big advantage of having like one guy just being like,
Dima's doing this now.
And
where he's
Dima's
like,
doing that
he's
too.
picking the rounds. I think this is good because it puts an element of people aren't allowed to duck anymore.
Yeah.
Like Nicky Rod's now getting rounds, or it's like maybe there's like, okay, I'm feeling a little bit tired today. Fuck, I don't want to go with Jackson or I don't want to go with J Dog, and he's like, bro, you have no choice. Like,
And he's telling you,
yeah, he's like,
you're wrestling.
Bro, yeah, you're wrestling with J Dog 15 minutes. He's like, you can't pull guard. I'm like, oh, come on, let me sit down. He's like, no, you're gonna wrestle, and then it's like, all right, now I need to get myself out. I'm about to wrestle for 15 minutes, you know. So it's like, it brings out the best in you in certain ways for sure, right? Where it's like there are things that you don't want to do, and he just forces you to do it, and inevitably it's gonna make you better at jiu-jitsu, right? I think this is important. It's like if you certain people, I think Joseph specifically always pops into my mind of like, I like PJ where it's like they can get good on their own accord. Where it's like, but this is a skill in itself to be able to like have the self-discipline to train all the time, to like pick the hard rounds, where like enforcing like certain constraints into open rounds when the guy doesn't even know, you know? Like, okay, I'm going to try and hit this guy with this sweep as many times as possible, right? And the guy has no idea until obviously you swept him with the same thing a bunch of times, right? I think Joseph talks about like the fuck your jiu-jitsu thing where he'll go into their best position and then work his way out from there and then you get super good at being entangled and getting out of entanglements, and then your passing gets better, your top game gets better, you know, it's harder to sweep you, harder to entangle you, and then you basically level up like this. I think this is pretty important.
Yeah, I think at that level too, like, I think a lot of people just think like, oh, like I train 7 times a day and I'm always tired at the end of training. That's enough. And it's like, it's not enough. Like the guys who are at the best, like, I think you're going to see like a lot of problems with like top level guys who, not saying all of them, but there are guys who like being the big fish and like they've worked their way up to be the big guy and they stay in their gym, they're the big guy. But like, it's a scary thought when you have like kids coming up who train like you, train like Joe, train like you too, like who are willing to be like, I'm going to put myself in this position, I'm going to get better. And you're not just showing up. Like there's a purpose behind your practice, and having a purpose behind your practice is actually making you fucking better. Like I get caught in that. I'll go weeks where all of a sudden I'm laying in bed and like, just because I feel like I got ran over by a truck and I rolled with Declan, I rolled with Nick Rod, and I'm rolling with all these motherfuckers. And then finally I lay in my bed and I have a thought where I'm like, yeah, you're tired, but what the fuck did you learn the last 14 days other than you got tougher? And like you sit there and you're like, I don't think I need to get tougher. I think maybe I need to go fucking work on something. Like, you know what I mean? Like maybe I have to go do this, maybe I have to go do that. Like, or think of some, or even when I'm like, even small goals, like rolling with like, I know how it's going to go with me and you. I know how it's going to go with me and Rod. But like yesterday when I had to do the rounds with Rod, when Dima was like, you're going with Rod. It's like, okay, sick. But like, instead of being like, okay, I guess I'm going with Rod, like I had to think in my mind, I was like, I'm going to fight grips better. I'm going to get into Keymaster more. He's not going to put me into bottom half. Every time he puts me in the bottom half, I'm going to strip a grip. I'm going to go back into, like, I'm going to pummel my leg out and try to attack K more.
Yeah.
Just little things like
Little
that.
goals, yeah. I think this was like, all right, acknowledging, okay, Chris Wojcik's very good on legs. I'm going to play legs with him. I'm going to let him put me 50. Oh, okay, that Wojcik energy was sick. I'm going to steal that, put that in my game. Things like this. This is like definitely ways to get better, right? Oh, fuck. How did Joseph pass me today? Oh, this, I'm going to try this on a fucking scrub, you know? And then you do it and you're like, all right, this works. And then sometimes you're like, oh, Chris hit me with this AOK. Then you try it and you're like, nah, not for me. And then it's like, you can kind of like pick and choose things from good guys that kind of fit into your game. And then it's like, you do rounds with Chris and you're like, okay, oh, if I do this, I stay safe. Then Chris learns, okay, when he does this, I'm going to do this instead, you know? And then it's like that back and forth. And then you both end up getting better because then you're giving Chris better defensive reactions. He's getting more offensive like attacks from you being better at defending, right? So it's then playing these games where it's like you're playing into like the other person's strengths and then trying to learn and adapt and get better there. Adaptability is important as well, you know? It's like,
I heard you talking about that the other day. We're not going to like name people. You're like, you know, it's going to be tough for this guy because I've rolled with him twice now and he didn't adapt once. I was able to do the same thing to him over and over again and we've rolled for 30 minutes.
It's like if I can do, there's like specific people who are like that I've trained with that aren't that good. That's like I hit them with one move and then hitting them with the same move again gets significantly harder. Where it's like, if I could just keep hitting the same move with the same setup and you're not adapting to the situation, you're not acknowledging, okay, right, he's doing this off balance and he tends to go false feet from here. So then when you do that off balance, then preemptively defending the false view, and maybe you get entangled in a different way, but now you stop this initial attack, right? Whereas, bro, if I'm just spamming the same thing and it just keeps working, and it's like, this is not a good thing, right? It's like, I tend to find like, I don't get past with the same thing multiple times unless they're gasped, right? Yeah. Like if Declan's fatigued me, bro, fair play. Chest to chest, I'm cooked. You know, it's dead to rights from there. But then it's like, when I get fresh again, I'm like, okay, when I was framing here, I go hit with this round jack. Maybe I'll be more cautious next time and I'll try and do something different. And if it happens again, fine. You know, you can keep, it's not the end of the world, but it's like, if you're just getting hit with it again on the repeat, you're just like, wow, it's just too easy, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, like, Yeah, it's like the same shit. Like, yeah, exactly. Like if you're just showing up and you're there just to have a fucking good work. Like if you came all the way to fucking B team, or if you came to any gym to train with the best guys, and if you're just in there just to get a good workout, like you could have saved a lot of money and just bought an assault bike.
Yeah.
Like, you know
There's
what
some
I
guys
mean?
that sit in the corner while like guys are dropping the best techniques in the world, and they're like, I'm not going to drill this. I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to do my one round, and they're going to pay my $250 a month, and then
Yeah, I saw that when I was teaching the other day, and just people weren't drilling. I was like, oh, fair enough. I mean, if you want, I mean, I don't care, right? If you don't want to drill it, don't drill it, right?
No. The amount of guys who fucking tape up and stretch in the corner, they're still not mobile, and there's no cuts on them. I don't know what the fuck they're doing with the tape, and I don't know what they're doing with the fucking foam roller.
Yeah, I mean, it's like,
But hey, if that's what you want to do, if that's what makes you happy, and you're like, bro, I'm just here for the fucking vibe, the
the
chill,
part of it,
fuck
yeah.
yeah, go for it.
I feel like some people just want to be a part of it, which is the thing, right?
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
you want to be a part of certain people's journey, right? There are people definitely around Joseph who just want to know, they want to say like, oh, I had Joseph for a seminar, or I did a private with Joseph, or I was friends with Joseph, or yeah, me and Joseph had dinner this one time, you know, and they just want to be like, have some form of connection, you know, they have a bond, and then when they see him doing well, they feel like they're doing well, you know, they profit from it, you know, it's like, they feel a part of his journey, which is also a big thing, you know, it's like, because there are some people who are part of my journey who it's like, they're not going to get enough shine, they're not going to get enough credit, you know, and it's like, but then there are obviously certain individual factors, like certain individuals who played a major role in me being here as well, so my dad always say, Elliot, David, these guys, you know, so I think these are important people as well.
This sport, although individual, is like you need a backing of people, like an immense backing. I talk about Miles, Adam, all the boys back home a lot, you know, and you do as well. It's like this sport's just impossible without a backing.
It's fucking, dude, it's lonely, and it's fucking, I mean, I've only been in it I haven't been in it that long, so when I bitch about it, I'm like, what the fuck do I have to bitch about? A lot of these guys have been training forever, but like, the shit's tough, and it's fucking, it can get lonely, so like, if you don't have fucking friends in it or good hangs, like, fuck, I don't know what it's fucking
like,
tough.
It's like Craig, I think people, obviously Craig does his thing on social media, but like, bro, after I won trials, I was still living in the gym, and like in the back of the gym, and I was like, fuck, I want to go train at B team, I want to go train somewhere before ADCC, and it's like, I can't afford to fly and rent an Airbnb, you know? And then it's like, Craig's like, brother, I got you. I'll get an Airbnb, I'll sort you out. But I get to the airport, I'm fucking panicking, my phone's on 2% battery, I'm like, fuck, I don't even know where the Airbnb is, I don't have a charger, fuck, I need to try and buy an adapter. And as I walk out, I just see Craig there, I'm like, why is he here for me, you know? It's like, I think then it's like, people are doing things for people all the time in this sport, you know? And it's like, I assume, I would hope that I would do that for someone later in my future, where it's like I see an up and coming kid, and then it's like supporting them. I think this is quite important, where it's like someone like Craig was doing things, you know, Craig and Steph are doing a lot for me and a lot for Joseph, right? Right, there's no way I could afford to come out 3 months before ADCC and fucking rent an Airbnb a minute away from the gym, you know? Then it's like these things, like living with Joseph, D-Man, it's like also makes you better, you know? Because like, all right, we come home and like, oh, what happened in the year round today with this guy? And then we're talking about training, and inevitably talking about jiu-jitsu more jiu-jitsu is occurring, and then you're getting better because, it's
Mental
reps,
reps,
right? Yeah, mental reps. You're thinking about jiu-jitsu more, and then it's like you're picking people's brains even outside of training. Like, oh, interesting, you know? Sometimes Joseph does it too much in public, you know, he's looking wrestling in restaurants. I'm like, come on, this is enough. But, you know, it's definitely good to have that, like, consistent, like, jiu-jitsu talk in life. Whereas like when I go back home, it's not that like that. Like I go home, it's like I have my normal friends who don't do jiu-jitsu. I don't need to talk about it too much.
It's important too to have that downtime from it, you know.
For sure.
If it's in your head all the time, that's when it gets draining, you know.
Yeah.
It's in Joseph's head all the time.
Doesn't
He loves it. He loves it. He needs to do the opposite. He needs to rest sometimes.
Yeah.
He's the opposite. He doesn't rest enough.
We saw that this trip, you know.
Yeah, bro. He'll just get his knee popped, and then he'll train 2 days later. He's like, it's fine. So I can't bend my heels, my base right now. Just give me Nick Rock. But bro, just rest for a couple of days, please.
I just got like one more question before we start to wrap this up, and it's the same one I asked Joe. It's like, what is Owen Jones' end goal?
Oh, the end goal. I think it's like to be the best competitor I could have been, right? I think this is the most important thing for me. And then I think obviously outside of jiu-jitsu, I guess inside jiu-jitsu, I would love like the successful academy. I have like multiple apexes in America. But I think the main goal for me personally would be to be the best competitor. For example, maybe I win ACC 6, I go up to 77, go up to 88, or just move right throughout the weights, become like multiple time champ, right? Like I win 6, I win 77, maybe I win 88, you know, then it's like undeniable that I was good at every weight category, you know, and I feel like eventually at some point I'll move up just purely because I feel like it's a harder division. There's more people in there, more high level guys. Preferably after Joseph and PDA retire, then I'll go up. And then
You're also a big 66 too.
yeah, relatively. I don't think I'm small for the division, right? So I think the going up in the weight wouldn't be too difficult, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's something. Obviously, I will want to do big things 66 first. You know, there are definitely a few wins I want to get back. I want to beat Pato, Fabricio, people who beat me before. But I reckon the end goal is to be just the best competitor that Owen Jones could have been, right? And also the most entertaining. I don't care about. I would rather actually not have won, but people be like, "Fuck, Owen Jones is on. I want to watch the match, or I want to watch the press conference." Than thinking about like being 4-time ADCC champ and nobody knows who the fuck you are. Nobody wants you for a podcast. Nobody wants you for a seminar. I'd rather stay true to myself, you know, not change, and like try to be entertaining as a competitor, as a person, you know. Also, yeah, just talk shit, enjoy it, have fun, compete as much as possible, beat the best guys in the world. Yeah, that's the goal. And I'd make a shit ton of money.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you very much, man. We really appreciate it.
And then one more time, what's your gym's name?
Apex BJJ Atlanta. There's also Apex HQ at home in Finsbury Park, North London. But yes, Atlanta. Hopefully May 1st is the opening date. Roughly, I'll have it confirmed soon, but I will be out there as soon as possible.
And then WNO coming up. The kid's an electric factory, so I'm sure it's gonna be fucking lights out.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Smoke up Julian Espinoza.
Fuck yeah. Thanks for coming on, bro.